Okay, we're going to work on the navigation, so that's using the nav tag. Um, so let's see here. We're going to give it a width of 100%, and you know it's inside the, oops, let's put the percent there. It's inside the aside, so we're going to tell it to float left. I have to make sure it's a colon, not a semicolon. And then I'm going to give it some padding. Boy, I'm just typo city right now. Let's squish this up a little further so you can see it easier. Of 0 on the top, 0 on the right, 10 pixels on the bottom, and 0 on the left. And then I'm also going to give it a font size. I like it bigger so it's easy to see, of 18 pixels. So let's save that, hit refresh, and see what happens. Oh, it got really tiny. All right, I'm not sure what I did, but oh, I put 10 instead of 18. I guess that would do it. There we go, that's a little better. All right, so I'm gonna go back to my brackets. Here we are. And now we're going to put the part in about using an unordered list, because that's how I wrote it. Let's take a peek at the flexible page. Well, if we look at the navigation, you can see it's in an unordered list. So there is what it looks like. So I'm going to stop and put that information in. Okay, here's what I put for the UL, or unordered list. I gave it a list style of none, and that takes away the little bullet. And then I gave it a margin on the bottom of 15 pixels. I gave it a specific font family, and then a letter spacing of 1 pixel. So let's take a look and see what that does. So you can see it got rid of the bullets. It's kind of spread it out. They're kind of tight still. So let's work some more on it. And hang on. Okay, now I put in some information for the list items. So that's the individual, I guess you'd call them buttons now. So I gave them a width of 90% and a little margin on the bottom of each of those. So that's going to spread my buttons out. Sometimes you like them tight together. Sometimes it's nice to have a little space. I gave them a border, and by giving them space and a border, it's going to make them look more like buttons. And then I gave them a background color. So let's take a peek at that. So now you can see, there it is. Oops, it's looking a little bit, keep clicking on the wrong scroller. This still kind of looks funny, but it's looking better. Now we'll work on the actual A, or anchor tag. Okay, for this one, here it is. So now it's the nav, and I'm talking about the list items inside the nav. So if I have navigation or something somewhere else, you know, like if I call it out for a specific area or whatever, it'll do different things. This is actually, if there was a navigation somewhere else, it would do the same thing. But, or if I use anchor tags right now, it would do that. But for now, we're styling the anchor tags in the nav area. So I told it display block, and I gave it padding overall of 5 pixels. I want the text to be in the center of my little buttons, and then text decoration none means that there's no underline. And when you have links inside, like main text area, you want to make sure you leave that underline so people can see that that is a link. And that's why you don't underline other words, because people automatically think it's a link, or if it looks like a button, they're going to click on it. And then I gave it a font weight of bold, because then it'll pop a little bit more, and I gave the font a color. So let's take a peek at that. So what it looks like now, and then that's what it looks like. And the only thing else I'm going to do is give it a hover. So hang on, let's put that in. So it does look a lot like links right now, right? Okay, here we are again. So here I'm doing the A hover. And I gave it a background color. Let's go ahead and call that color. And of this hex code. And then I changed the font color to white. You can see that's white. And sometimes it shows, there it is. So that's a brown color. I like it when it shows up the color. So let's see what that does. And that should be it for our styles for this page, which is a lot. There it is. So it kind of flops it back and forth from what it was. And now they really look like buttons to me. So if we go back to our natural flow page, that's what it looks like. And it's all plain and simple. And then we added our CSS, and I think it looks pretty good. It's not great, but it's not bad. It's, you know, it looks like a web page. So that's what we're gearing towards. And that's all the styles for this. So what we're going to do in the next video is talk about how to take this and make it responsive.